Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Israel confirmed that they signed the final draft of a ceasefire deal with Hamas, marking the first phase of a U.S.-backed plan aimed at ending the two-year war in Gaza that has killed over 67,000 Palestinians and almost 2,000 Israelis. The agreement, signed Thursday morning in Egypt's Sharm el-Sheikh, after intensive negotiations, calls for the release of the remaining Israeli captives within 72 hours in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and for Israeli troops to pull back to a designated line. The ceasefire is expected to begin within 24 hours, pending Israeli cabinet approval. However, Israel insists it will not release Palestinian leader Marwan Barghouti and plans to maintain control over more than half of Gaza, raising tensions despite the truce. While families in Gaza welcome the news with relief and hope for reunification and aid, analysts warn the agreement falls short of a lasting peace, with deep divisions remaining over Gaza's future governance, Hamas's role, and whether Israel will allow full reconstruction. Japan is set to have its first female prime minister, a staunch conservative who wants to borrow and spend more to rev up Japan's economy, and says she's willing to reopen trade deals with the U.S. Sanae Takaichi, 64 years old, was elected leader of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party on Saturday. Takaichi is a nationalist who, like her mentor, the late Shinzo Abe, is a strong supporter of Japan's alliance with the U.S. and has conservative views on foreign policy and social issues. Her victory adds to conservative gains in the world's leading economies. Donald Trump won re-election in the U.S. in November with a promise to crack down on immigration and impose sweeping tariffs on imports. Voter concerns over immigration, sluggish economic growth, and stubbornly high inflation are fueling support for right-wing and center-right parties in countries including France, Italy, and the UK. At least 4,200 Cuban nationals are fighting for Moscow in its war in Ukraine, according to the Ukrainian intelligence services. U.S. officials are concerned it signals a growing threat to security in the Western Hemisphere as Havana deepens its relationship with Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. While Moscow has previously reached out to other U.S. adversaries for manpower help, most notably North Korea, which sent at least 15,000 troops to fight alongside the Russians, the addition of mass quantities of troops from Cuba is particularly concerning as the U.S. seeks to focus more security efforts on the Western Hemisphere. Cuba claims the fighters are volunteers recruited by Moscow, but the country has one of the world's most tightly controlled exit systems, meaning it's unlikely they left the island with Havana's approval, said multiple U.S. and Ukrainian sources. The development has triggered concern in the Trump administration, which has been heightened the U.S. focus on security in the Western Hemisphere since January and deploying warships to Central and South America in recent months. Federal health officials are warning HelloFresh customers not to eat certain ready-made meals containing spinach that may be contaminated with listeria. The U.S. Department of Agriculture issued a public health alert late Monday for cheesy pulled pork pepper pasta and unstuffed peppers with ground turkey, shipped directly to consumers by Fresh Realm, the California company linked to an ongoing outbreak tied to pasta meals. No illnesses have been reported in this case, but listeria can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in older adults, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems. Mailing costs are going up for the holidays. The U.S. Postal Service says temporary rate hikes took effect October 5th for services including Priority Mail Express, Parcel Select, and USPS Ground Advantage. The increases, ranging from 40 cents to $7 depending on weight and distance, will stay in place through January 18, 2026. Postal offices say the adjustment, approved by federal regulators, is part of the agency's 10-year plan to modernize operations and stabilize its finances. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Into the city, don't even think about driving.
The T is by far the best value in the city.
Park with ease at one of the many MBTA lots or garages with rates that beat anything in the city.
You just have to tap your phone or contactless card and ride. No machines, no stress. It's modern, fast, it's easy.
And the best part, you get dropped off steps away from where you want to go.
Hop off at Park Street, explore the State House, Boston Common, and the Theater District.
And don't miss a concert at the Orpheum.
Ride smart, ride the T.
So many reasons to get on board.
Welcome back. After a busy few months and a final hurrah, the Braintree Town Council gave a citation to the Braintree Boys Little League team, recognizing their remarkable run to the Little League World Series. Councilors praised the players and coaches for their dedication, teamwork, and the pride they brought to the community. The honor comes just a couple of months after the team returned home from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where they represented Braintree and Massachusetts in front of a national audience. To watch the full meeting, head to BCAM TV's government channels, Comcast Channel 8, and Verizon Channel 26. Braintree is getting regional recognition for turning infrastructure into art. The town's Visualizing Stormwater Infiltration Through Art project, led by DPW Stormwater Manager Hillary Waite, was named Best Stormwater Idea in New England at the 2025 Stormy Awards. Officials say the project uses custom artwork to help residents better understand how stormwater systems work, blending technical infrastructure with public awareness through visual storytelling. The award was presented by the New England Stormwater Collaborative. Braintree heads to the polls in just 1 month on Tuesday, November 4th for the local general election. Voters will have to choose candidates for town council, school committee, library board of trustees, electric light board, and housing authority. Absentee in-person voting at the town clerk's office runs through noon on November 3rd. Otherwise, ballots can be cast on election day. For full details, check the town clerk's election schedule and voter information pages at braintreema.gov. Braintree's Health Department will host a free seasonal flu shot clinic on Wednesday, October 22nd from 3 to 7 p.m. at Cahill Auditorium inside Town Hall. The walk-in clinic is open to adults 18 years and older, as well as students in grades 5 through 12, and no registration is required. Shots will be given on a first-come, first-served basis, and residents are asked to bring their health insurance cards. The Haunted Hollows at Delta is back for its second season in Braintree, promising 2 nights of spooky fun at the historic Masonic building on Washington Street. Unlike last year's guided tour, this time visitors are on their own to explore the haunted halls and grounds on October 24th and 25th. Admission is $12 per person, with warm apple cider and snacks available for purchase. The Braintree Senior Center is offering a full slate of weekly programs and special events for residents 60 years and older this October. Weekly offerings include daily fitness classes, men's coffee hour on Mondays, game day on Tuesdays, the Asian Outreach Group on Wednesdays, quilting and knitting on Thursdays, and movie day on Fridays. For one-day events, the center is holding a presentation by the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office on October 16th at 12:30 p.m., a cornhole teams event on October 20th at 1 p.m., and a Medicare open enrollment presentation on October 21st at 1 p.m. To sign up for these events, contact the Braintree Senior Center at 781-848-1963. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Well, October is almost here, and that means the Booktober Library Crawl will start soon. Pick up a passport at their public library and then go explore other libraries in the Old Colony Library Network. Remember to get your passport stamped at each library you visit, including ours. This year, the Library Crawl runs from October 1st through October 31st. Participants who visit 5 libraries and collect at least 5 unique stamps on their passports will instantly earn a certificate of participation at the 5th library they visit. Last year, I only made it to 2 other libraries, so this year I hope to do better. The Booktober Library Crawl is free and fun for all ages. Visit malibraryroadtrip.com/OCLN to plan your adventure today. Their public library's English Conversation Circle group stopped meeting over the summer, but weekly meetings will be back on Saturday afternoons starting October 11th. Conversation Circle isn't a class, It's an informal gathering for English language learners to chat, share experiences, and improve together. While it's best for intermediate to advanced learners, beginners are welcome to practice English language and conversation skills in a supportive and friendly environment. It's free and open to the public, no registration needed. And October also means Halloween fun all month long. Join Miss Elizabeth in the children's room for stories, songs, movement, and crafts, starting with Monday story time at the mall on October 6th at 10:30 a.m. Find Miss Elizabeth at the South Shore Plaza play area near the food court the first Monday of every month. Enjoy a spooktacular time at the library during Trick or Treat, Signs and Sweets on Wednesday, October 29th. This popular annual event is tons of fun. Drop in between 5 and 7 p.m. to visit stations in the children's room where kids of all ages can learn a Halloween-themed sign in American Sign Language from teen volunteers and earn a sweet treat. The Halloween fun continues in Logan Auditorium, where we'll have games and a mini dance party to get everyone in the spooky spirit. Costumes are absolutely welcome and encouraged, but not required. And even our local authors are getting in the Halloween spirit. At Mocktails with local fantasy horror authors, a panel of 3 local authors, Jennifer Safrey, Nick Bythrow, and Carla Dash, will talk about their new books and their writing and publishing experience on Tuesday, October 14th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. You can register for the event on our event calendar or just drop in. You can also support local authors and read local at these additional upcoming events at their public library. Coffee with Local Authors on Saturday, October 4th, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. This is a panel discussion on writing and publishing with Paul Yavino, Neil Leibowitz, and Rich Feidelberg. Light refreshments are provided. There is a virtual option available. Advanced registration will be required to receive the Zoom link. Then we have our local author book fair coming up on Saturday, November 8th, 10:30 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. The TPL Writers Group will present the 3rd annual local author book fair at their public library. 10% of the proceeds will benefit the Friends of their public library. For more information about these events or to see many more upcoming events at the library, visit www.theirpubliclibrary.org/events. You can also call the reference department at 781-848-0405 or email referencedesk@braintreema.gov.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Boston's Blue Bikes are turning pink to support the cause. The popular bike share program is rolling out 100 specially wrapped pink bikes featuring ribbon decals, and for every ride taken on one of them, Blue Cross Blue Shield will donate $1 to the Ellie Fund, which provides support to breast cancer patients across Massachusetts. Lyft, which operates Blue Bikes, says once donations hit $10,000, they'll contribute an additional $10,000. According to the American Cancer Society, breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the U.S., making up nearly 1/3 of all new female cancer diagnoses. A Pembroke High School freshman is headed to the world stage. Ashton Nikinsky has qualified to represent Team USA at the Idol World Tap Championships in Prague, Czech Republic, taking place October 22nd through the 26th. The invitation follows months of intense training and auditions at the American Tap Company in North Andover. Nikinsky says the routines are really technical and hard, but she's improving with practice with dancers spread across the country. She's learning the choreography through video and has been told to master every spot on the floor to be ready to fill in anywhere during the competition. Nikinsky will join 23 other dancers in the 13 to 16 age group, part of a 72-member team USA heading to Prague later this month. A Boston man who broke into a Quincy home, tied up 4 people with zip ties, and fired two two shots during a violent struggle, has been sentenced to prison. Michael A. Campbell, 32, pleaded guilty Monday in Dedham Superior Court to multiple assault and weapons charges. Prosecutors say Campbell forced his way into the Granite Street home on April 16, 2023, and held the victims at gunpoint before a fight broke out. He fired 2 rounds but didn't hit anybody. The victims eventually disarmed him and Campbell fled, leaving a trail of blood after being stabbed in the hand. He was later arrested outside Boston Medical Center. Judge Peter Krupp sentenced Campbell to 7 to 10 years in prison, followed by 3 years of probation. Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey praised the effort of Quincy and Boston police, as well as the prosecutor and victim advocate who supported the victims throughout the case. The Weymouth Libraries Foundation is helping make Tufts Library more inclusive and accessible with the new installation of 3 Nook Study pods, now open to the public. Funded entirely through community donations, the pods offer quiet spaces for work, study, and collaboration, including a specialized sensory nook in the children's room designed to support neurodiverse kids. Featuring customizable lighting and noise-reducing panels, the mobile pod creates a calming environment for any young patron needing a quiet space. Foundation President Matt Talon says the goal is to fund innovations that meet diverse needs and help all members of the community feel supported. Weymouth will host the Water Lantern Festival at George Lane Beach on Saturday, October 18th, starting at 4:30 p.m. The nationally recognized event, voted the #1 festival by USA Today, features hundreds of lanterns lighting up the ocean in a dazzling display. Tickets are available online at waterlanternfestival.com, and organizers say the evening offers music, food trucks, and more. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in sports and entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here's Chris Curran with the latest on Braintree High School sports.
Braintree football starts their season off 0-3 before getting their first win. They lost 39-0 to North Quincy, 29-12 against Framingham, and they got their first win in a scrappy game against Durfee, 15-6. Braintree's first splash play came on a punt return. The returner let the ball bounce before picking it up with the defender right in his face. He was able to break it to the far sideline before being pushed out at the 35-yard line. This then set up Braintree's first score. From about the 15-yard line, they ran left with Eli. His blocks lined up and he got in virtually untouched. Then, late in the second, Braintree was able to score again when Farringer rolled left and found Eli for his second score of the game. Braintree goes on to have a bye this week, but come back on the 17th to play at Needham. The boys' soccer team have also had a tough go at it since the last time I talked to you. They are 1-6-2 on the season and rank 42nd in the MIAA rankings. They lost 4-0 to Needham, tied 1-1 to Milton, lost 3-2 to Newton North, lost 1-0 to Canton, lost 4-1 to Norwell, got their first win of the season 2-1 against Walpole, and lost in crushing fashion 6-0 to Natick. They go on to play on the 9th versus Brookline, the 14th versus Weymouth, and the 16th at Wellesley. While the girls have had a weird go of it, being 3-2-5 on the season, and being ranked 6th in the MIAA rankings. They lost 1-0 to Needham, won 2-0 versus Milton, won 3-0 versus Newton North, and then had 4 straight ties before losing again to Natick. Looking back at the game against Natick, Braintree had control for most of the game. They got excellent goaltending from their goalie and got pretty good defense throughout the game. They almost tripled the scoring chances of Natick, but the game was sealed with a last-minute goal scored by Natick that Braintree had no time to come back from. They go on to play on the 9th at Weymouth, on the 14th versus Wellesley, and on the 16th at Archbishop Williams. The girls' volleyball team has had an up-and-down season so far. with most of their games coming in landslide fashion. They won 4 of their last 8 to Waltham twice, Walpole, and Weymouth, and lost the other 4 to Milton, Newton North, Natick, and Brookline. They go on to play Wellesley on the 9th, Notre Dame Academy on the 10th, Walpole on the 16th, and Durfee on the 17th. After starting the season 4-0, the field hockey team went on a 6-game losing streak. They broke the streak with a tie against Norwell and then a win 6-0 versus Weymouth. They go on to play Wellesley on the 8th, Hanover on the 10th, Walpole on the 15th, and Mansfield on the 17th. That's been your Braintree Sports Update. Let's send it back to Martha.
Thanks, Chris. Now here are some movies you won't want to miss. First, After the Hunt is a psychological thriller based on a college campus where a college professor who finds herself at a personal and professional crossroad when a star student levels an accusation against one of her close colleagues. This accusation starts as an investigation that threatens to expose dark secrets from everyone involved. The film stars Julia Roberts, Ayo Edebiri, Andrew Garfield, and Chloe Sevigny. You can see After the Hunt in theaters on October 10th. Up next, Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Valentine, a political prisoner who is part of a revolutionary group, shares a cell with Molina, a window dresser convicted of public indecency. To help escape and cope with life in prison, the two form an unlikely bond as Molina recounts the plot of a Hollywood musical starring his favorite silver screen diva, Ingrid Luna. The movie stars Jennifer Lopez, Diego Luna, Tonatiuh, and Tony Dovolani. You can watch Kiss of the Spider-Woman in theaters on October 10th. And finally, Tron Ares is the third installment of the Tron series. This time around, Ares, an AI programmed soldier from the digital realm, is sent into the physical world on a perilous mission, marking humanity's first contact with artificial intelligence beings. The film stars Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Evan Peters, and Jodie Turner-Smith. You can watch Tron Ares in theaters on October 10th. That'll do it for news today. Don't forget Verizon customers can now watch BCam TV in high definition on channel 2128 and on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCam TV. We'll see you next time.